The U.S. has launched its much-anticipated strikes in retaliation for the drone attack that killed 3 U.S. soldiers in Jordan on January 2nd. U.S. President Joe Biden stated on X, "Today, at my direction, U.S. military forces struck targets in Iraq and Syria that the IRGC and affiliated militia used to attack U.S. forces. We do not seek conflict in the Middle East or anywhere else in the world, but to all those who seek to do us harm, we will respond." B-1B bomber played a key role in this operation. As per reports, B-1B bombers flew directly from the U.S. mainland, supported by aerial refueling. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how B-1B, flying non-stop from the U.S., decimated Iranian proxies in Iraq and Syria. Let's get started. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. As per reports, 85 targets were hit and employed more than 125 precise munitions. According to John Kirby, the U.S. airstrikes took place at 7 facilities, 3 in Iraq and 4 in Syria, over the course of about 30 minutes. He added, "These targets were carefully selected to avoid civilian casualties and based on clear, irrefutable evidence that they were connected to attacks on U.S. personnel in the region." Secondary explosions and several social media footage seem to indicate that fuel and explosive storage facilities have been hit. A spokesperson for the Commander-in-Chief of Iraq's Armed Forces, Yahi Rasool, has issued a statement criticizing the U.S. strikes in that country as a violation of its sovereignty. Syrian state media said that an American aggression on a number of sites in Syria's desert areas and the Syrian and Iraqi border resulted in a number of casualties and injuries. It's important to note that indications that B-1B bombers were headed toward the Middle East had emerged earlier in the day. Plane spotters observed B-1Bs departing from the United States and flying eastward across the Atlantic. It was later confirmed that some of these bombers had indeed traveled all the way from the United States to engage targets in Iraq and/or Syria. Reports indicate that this is the biggest attack on Iraq and Syrian soil since 2003. Also, this is probably the first time since the Vietnam War that U.S. B-1 bombers are being used in the Middle East War. Interestingly, this year is the 25th anniversary of the B-1 bombers' combat debut. KC-135 aerial refueling tankers from RAF Lakenheath in the UK seem to have accompanied the bombers. B-1B is a supersonic, variable sweep wing, heavy bomber used by the United States Air Force. The B-1B is powered by 4 General Electric F-101 GE-102 afterburning turbofan engines. Each of these can generate 17,390 pound force, or 77.4 kilonewton thrust when operating normally, and 30,780 pound force, or 136.9 kilonewtons with afterburner. The B-1B is a bomber with the capability to fly at a supersonic speed, topping out at roughly Mach 1.25. It also has stealth features for improved survivability. The design enables B-1B to have an excellent range of 5,900 miles, or 9,400 kilometers, and a service ceiling of 60,000 feet. The engine performance makes B-1B capable of hauling a lot of weapons. B-1B has a massive payload of 120,000 pounds, or 56,700 kilograms of internal and external ordnance combined. It has 8 external hardpoints for 50,000 pounds or 23,000 kilograms of ordnance, and 3 internal bomb bays for 75,000 pounds or 34,000 kilograms of ordnance. Depending on the mission, B-1B can carry a variety of ammunitions like Mark 84 general-purpose bombs, CBU 87 or 89 and CBU 97 cluster bomb units, and GBU 38 JASSM. In a contested environment, B-1B combat jets will depend on long-range missiles to strike targets without getting inside the rival's engagement envelope. B-1B could deploy AGM-158 JASSM, AGM-158B JASSM-ER, and AGM-158C LRASM. Iranian forces have been present in Syria since the early stages of the Syrian civil war, where they helped support the regime of President Bashar al-Assad against widespread rebellion against his rule. The case is similar to Iraq. Tehran's strategic objectives in its intervention in Iraq include keeping the Shia-led government in power and stabilizing its border. Most Iranian aid has thus far come in the form of technical assistance, the commitment of special forces troops, and air support. The White House has stated that the Islamic resistance in Iraq was responsible for the recent drone attack that killed 3 U.S. soldiers and wounded dozens in Jordan. While Iran has not dared to directly hit U.S. interests, it's been using its proxies like Hezbollah to carry out strikes. Using B-1B is a direct warning to Iran and its bunkers. Most likely, some of those bunker busters were used here. There are unconfirmed reports that AGM-158 JASSM has been used. Each B-1B can carry 24 AGM-158 missiles, and 1 to 2 bombers would have a devastating effect. The AGM-158 JASSM, which stands for Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile, is a low-detection standoff air-launched cruise missile developed by Lockheed Martin for the United States Air Force. It's a large, stealthy, long-range weapon with a 1,000-pound or 450-kilogram armor-piercing warhead. While it has a range of 230 miles or 370 kilometers, the ER variant has a range of 575 miles or 925 kilometers. The militaries of Iraq and Syria have nothing to intercept this kind of weapon. The U.S. has been restrained in its actions till now, but the death of U.S. soldiers left the Biden administration with no choice. It's evident that Iran has miscalculated and shouldn't have crossed the red line.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.